Hey, welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you a quick and easy way to do a Dollar Tree wall decor. Sometimes you're not into big pieces of artwork and different things like that, so you just want like a piece of decor for your wall that is not exactly artwork. So I came up with this. First, I'm going to start with a hula hoop that of course I got from the Dollar Tree, and then cardboard, because if you're like me, you've been ordering and you have boxes. Try to get a box that is big enough to go the size that you need for the hula hoop. And you're going to want to make sure that when you cut it, it's able to stick to the back of the hula hoop. So you don't want it to be just a centerpiece. You want it to cover the back but not be too big. Then I have these wooden squares that I got from the Dollar Tree. I had to go to several different Dollar Trees to get as many as I did because they're hard to find sometimes based on your area. I know for me they were hard to find. But then you'll come up with a pattern. You could go more detailed with the pattern and lay out pieces and cut the pieces to shape and different things like that. But I wanted to make this as simple as possible. So it's really just these two items, the wooden squares and the hula hoop. So I didn't want to put like too many instructions or details or whatever in there. I just wanted to make it simple. So once you have your pieces, you'll just play around with a pattern. I did it several times trying to figure out what exactly I wanted. And I ended up, because I'm mismatching the pieces, I'm left with little gaps, but I'll show you what you can do with those little gaps later. But if you were cutting the pieces to size, then you wouldn't have the little gaps. So I'm getting an idea of what it's going to look like. And then once you've laid out your pattern, try to leave it there. And then you can just hot glue it down. Kind of like glue and tile, like a backsplash or what have you and stuff, but you're doing it without the spacers, of course. So you're just trying to butt them up to each other like I did and gluing it down, giving it a little pressure for a bit so that everything can connect. And it's real simple. You could use something more sturdier too for the back as opposed to the cardboard, but the cardboard worked out just fine because once you put the wood pieces on, it makes it sturdier. So once I did all that, you can see I had to readjust the pieces because once I started gluing them down and they were in place and not shifting, the pattern kind of went off of what I had originally put down. But you glue them all down and then that is what you'll have. And then you'll see the back, they overlap the circle there. So you'll have to cut all of those off. I haven't tried it, but maybe if you don't have a jigsaw, you can cut it with scissors. But you'll see the gaps there. If you wanted to, for those gaps, and you want to do like a more glittery one, you can fill those with like crushed glass and then paint solid colors on the wood squares and you would have a more glam look. But I didn't want to do that. All right, I noticed when I cut it that it was overlapping the hula hoop that I had originally picked. So I was debating, do I cut down the bigger one or do I cut down the pieces? But I figured it out all in the end. But I'm just going to use this wood stain and stain the pieces. I'm not staining every piece because I'm trying to figure out what pattern I want to do with it here. So I was deciding, you could just go with one whole stained piece and then fill in the gaps. You could do a lot of things with it. You could get creative with it, do whatever you want. But at first I started out with just a few pieces and I was debating on what I do, the stain, white, and a black. But I decided just the two colors. And you can see with the black, I'm filling in my cardboard pieces and it looks fine doing it that way. I did do 2 coats on the cardboard and just 1 coat on the wood pieces. So this is it when it's all painted in and you really can't even tell the cardboard pieces. And then now I'm going on to the hula hoop. The hula hoop, I don't know, I saw videos way back when people doing things with the Dollar Tree hula hoop and it like they painted theirs just fine. You cannot paint it. It's a sticker. So I had to peel the sticker off. And then once I peeled it off, it was able to take the paint just fine. So I went ahead and I painted that. But you got to peel, all of the sticker off. What I did was I slashed it in different parts with a razor. You could see the cuts there on the hula hoop. But try not to go too deep. But I slashed it with the razor and then just kept peeling back piece by piece. So I painted it around. I painted both sides. You don't really have to paint both sides because you're not going to see both sides. But I painted both sides, glued it down to the top, and then just glued a piece of rope on the back with an awful lot of glue to help it hang. You could do something like a hook hang. But that was it for that part. And then you'll hang it on your wall. So if you liked, do not forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.